Well, I be damned. Season 1, Episode 3.
Hey, we moving on up.
It's the McCrazy Talk Podcast. Thanks to both of you for listening.
Yes. Enough of you listen that we made a third episode.
Right, exactly.
And by that, we mean more than 5.
I mean, if we can get up to a half a dozen, we're really saying something.
Yep.
By the way, my name is Mark McCrazy.
Oh, I'm Indy B.
And I'm DJ Menace.
This is the McCrazy Talk Podcast, where we highlight some of the ridiculously dumb stories that you may have missed because we're too busy talking about Donald Trump.
Yeah. Literally, he's the entire news cycle.
Really? It really is.
I'm over it.
But it doesn't mean that dumb shit isn't happening around us at all times.
Right.
And we're just the type of bastards to bring it to you.
Break it down.
So, in today's podcast, we'll learn about how ladies are using their genitals as fanny packs and as storage bins. We'll be getting to that.
Boy.
A reminder about how a fart can cost you about $15,000. And also, we'll be talking about if you want to stop a home intruder, a knife, gun, baseball bat may not be your best option.
Okay.
Actually, we'll start with that story, shall we?
Okay.
There's a woman in Alabama, of all places, and she had to fight off an attacker. And she did not use gun, knife, the traditional baseball bat. Nope. She had a pan of hot grease right off the stove and threw it at him.
Oh, that'll work.
Sounds like Alabama.
And connected, too. When officers were called to the home, the man was still there and had suffered burns to his face. Looked like he got vitiligo. Is that what Michael Jackson had? Here's a picture.
Ew, skin just rolled off.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what happens. Alabama, hot grease on the stove.
That sounds like Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama being Alabama. Well, have any of you guys seen the movie Bridesmaids?
Yes.
Several times.
Yes.
Well, something out of that movie has actually come to life. Yeah, it's a true life bridesmaid story. I know that you heard me mention that a fart can cost you $15,000. And it looks like one lady found that out the hard way. See, you never trust a fart, see? You learn that early as a child. This lady is well into her 20s and 30s, and man, she had an epic disaster story that she shared on Reddit. See, apparently, she's preparing for her own wedding, right? And I guess she'd been taking those health shakes to slim down for the wedding. Then she drank alcohol and ate a big breakfast.
Oh, gosh.
So basically, she had some slimy, oily bits just brewing.
Oh,
And this is at
That's
the
a
wedding
disaster.
day?
I believe so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This ain't that the fitting. This is the wedding day.
I believe.
oh.
And she's like, well, let me just squeak out a little one.
It'll just be a little fart. No one will hear it.
Yeah. Well, I left a brown streak down the back of her $15,000 dress.
That dress is the shit, though.
And
That's a nightmare.
And the groom touched it during the first dance. It was just a complete disaster.
$15,000.
$15,000
You can't wash
dress.
that dress. You
No.
can't wash it. It's a wrap.
No, throw the whole dress away. Yeah, throw the bride away, true.
Burn it. Burn it.
So we'll play a little game here called Pick the Airline. Shall we play that?
Okay.
All right. So you're on an airplane, boarding doors closed, you get up in the sky, and what do you notice? There's a bat flying around the cabin. There's a bat in the plane.
I'm going to go
In the
Spirit.
plane.
I'm going Spirit.
Indy?
I was going to say the same thing. Sorry. Spirit.
Anything, really, I was going to go Spirit.
Spirit. Spirit. See, if it's on this show, it's Spirit.
Anything other than like great customer service and mad leg room, I was going to say Spirit.
And if you don't say Spirit, it's probably a Frontier or maybe Allegiance. All right, so...
Allegiance.
Oh, see, names
I've
like
never
that,
flown
now I'm
them.
like, I'm not sure about flying.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Anything lower than Spirit? Isn't Spirit value jet? Or was that Jet Blue?
It's pretty much a city bus with wings.
I'm not going
I
any
think
lower.
it used to be Value Jet.
Bus
They
with
changed the
wings.
name.
Yeah, it's a city bus with wings.
And the clientele is about the same. You're right.
I can't even say a coach bus with wing because even the seats in a coach bus recline.
They're much nicer.
Yeah. I can't
you know,
do Spirit.
you know what Spirit is? It's like riding sitting on the curb for 3 and 4 hours.
Sitting on a curb.
It's like sitting on somebody's stoop. That's how uncomfortable those
Right.
seats are.
Oh, let me stand
Yeah,
up
they
for the
might
last
as
30
well
minutes.
be wooden. They really might as
You know
well.
the lawn seats at a concert? I think those are more comfortable than the seats on Spirit
Oh,
Hill.
yeah.
Okay, let's talk about how women are using their naughty parts as storage bins.
Oh boy.
How so, sir?
A Kentucky woman, you know I was going somewhere when I said Kentucky. A Kentucky woman removed a bag of drugs from her vagina and then snorted them while in the back of a cop car.
Wow.
Classy chick, bring her home to mom.
She was willing to do anything to be free, though.
Okay.
Police found the woman and her boyfriend in a parking lot trying to get in their car. The woman was intoxicated. She was arrested because she was considered a danger to her 17-month-old child. She was handcuffed and placed in the back of the squad car. The woman was able to get the bag of unknown drugs out of her vagina and then snorted them in the back seat. I don't know. I guess
How
they had.
did she do that?
She's a contortionist. See, she's got a talent.
Once you threw the kid in
but
there.
she's using it for wrong.
Oh, she
Made
was
it
like,
all
I
sad.
gotta get this high before I go to jail.
If you thought for one reason that I was through talking about vaginas, you're dead wrong. I got two more stories to go.
Oh boy.
A Louisiana woman denied owning a bag of meth found where?
In her vajayjay.
Yeah, that's not mine.
Not mine.
That's Carl's.
I'm not. This isn't even my car.
This isn't even my vagina. I don't know. I don't know how it got there.
It seems like every time I use my sister's car, something that's not mine
Right.
ends up in my vagina.
Yeah, I just borrowed my cousin's vagina, and I didn't know this was in there.
That's what meth makes you do.
Wow. During a search, an officer found the bag of meth hidden there. Again, lie to you die, she maintains that the drugs are not hers.
And again, somebody's going to end up or was going to end up with them drugs, doing them.
No, they were hers. She was gonna do them all.
No, she said they weren't
meth.
hers, Indy.
Really,
They
they're
weren't
not
hers.
hers.
They're not hers.
You don't give meth away.
Did you not hear what I said? This is not this lady.
Stuff in her butthole's not hers either.
Not hers. And the last vagina story for today's podcast. A Brooklyn woman was busted for forcing her roommate's dog to perform a sex act.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. Not sure if peanut butter was involved.
Ew. That's not stupid. That's disgusting.
Yeah. The roommate confronted the woman, and she said she was wearing underwear and didn't get any pleasure from it.
Wait, I think I saw a picture of her. Do you
so,
have a picture of her?
Just so you don't think I'm weird, okay, or I was doing anything crazy. I did have underwear on and I couldn't feel.
That's what this lady said. I didn't get any pleasure from it. Woman was arrested, then released without bail after an argument. And the woman says, now I have to find a new place to live. You're damn right.
Hey, you scarred my dog.
You scarred me.
Is there a
you
picture
scarred
of her?
me.
You have a picture of her because I.
Yeah,
the
this is
picture
her here. Not what you're expecting.
Yeah, no, she looks like she would do something
maybe.
like that.
Yeah.
She looks like kind of like a
Forget
cat.
scarring the dog, though. I'm scarred. The dog probably don't even remember and appreciates the peanut butter.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Especially if it was Skippy or Jif.
Right.
If it was great value, it's like, All right, so did you see the story about an alligator and a guy and his dog? Yeah, I would like to say that I would do this for my dog, but I don't think that I would.
An Nokomis man and his dog are hurt after coming face to face with an alligator. It happened behind his home on Margaret Drive, and our crews were on scene just moments after it happened. The owner tells us the gator attacked his chocolate lab, who jumped into the canal behind his home. The owner did not hesitate and jumped right in, pried the gator's mouth open, and was able to save the dog, but not without some injuries of his own.
He got injured either prying the mouth open, or it's still kind of sketchy of how he got it, but it was from the alligator itself. But whether it was bit or scratched up during the event, but he did receive minor injuries.
I saw the gator on Sunday. I had a friend come over Monday and build this fence because I have two dogs and I was, had to be able to let them out. It was scary. It was very scary.
Yeah, we get it, Grandma. So anyway, that happened, Sarasota, Florida.
I'm diving in for Billy.
Really?
You not
yeah.
saving Lily, Mark?
Well, Lily's about 14 years old, so.
She's on the last one leg.
And hold on, Lily is bite size. So if that alligator is any size at all, it was a wrap.
It was a wrap. You can't save her.
Yeah, may spit out her
Nice
collar,
mom.
but that's about it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
poor
me on the
Lily.
banks of the little pond. They're going. That's a shame.
It's a shame.
Poor Lily.
Jeez. So, I mean, Lily's 14.
I get
Right.
it.
New dog time.
Yeah.
And she's little. She's like swallowing a pill for that.
Well, let me put it to you
alligator.
this way, Andy. Would you put, how do I put this? Would you put $10,000 into 1999 Hyundai XL?
No.
Okay, then. What do I have here?
She's a family member.
I
okay.
get that.
Whatever.
So, you ever had somebody say they're going to be someplace and then they're late, like waiting all day for the cable guy or the furniture person to pull up?
Or my weed man.
Okay, that perhaps. So, yes, sir. We'll
Andy
give you some-
laughing. She know who I'm talking about, too. Go ahead.
We'll be there at 2:00 between 2 and 3. It's 4:30. They still ain't showed up yet. Well, let me tell you, this Florida man pulled a gun on a furniture delivery crew because they arrived late.
Feel him on that though.
No.
Told them he shot people for less.
Feel him
I
on
kill
that.
people for less. Where's my TV?
Wasting my time and my money. No, I feel him.
He was upset.
I nothing makes me more upset than people who are late to everything. I'll give you a pass once or twice, but then it's disrespect.
It is
It's
disrespect.
pure disrespect.
It means your time is more important than my time. Now, we've all worked together for years, and I've been a manager at several places. And you guys know that one of my items that I don't mess around with, that's a non-negotiable to me, is late.
Right.
And you guys have seen me when somebody shows up late to one of my meetings.
Right.
Yes.
I'm no fun to be around.
Not at all.
I may show up in a stained t-shirt, smelling like a cloud with some flip-flops on, but I'm going to be there on time.
Word.
Okay. I
Yeah.
don't know why people play with you like that.
Yeah, and then, if they don't even well, I think what pisses me off is when people show up to stuff and then they act like they're on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
walk
Just
in,
sit right
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
I'm here.
So have you ever swerved out of the way to make sure you don't hit something like a pothole or
Of course.
An animal.
a squirrel? Well, this
I know,
82-year-old
I'm hitting
woman,
the squirrel.
dangerous combination, 82-year-old woman, Buick Regal,
Ooh, I love a Regal.
and a squirrel. 82-year-old woman flipped her vehicle after hitting a parked car and swerved all this because she was trying not to hit a squirrel.
Damn. Flipped the car over a
Flipped the
squirrel.
car over because of a squirrel.
Because she doesn't know how to swerve. Once she started turning the wheel, she never turned back. Her delay. She's 82.
She shouldn't be driving, and
So
she
she
probably
just-
has a crispy ass Regal that she needs
Oh,
to donate
beautiful.
to somebody like me.
Beautiful. The squirrel's up in the tree watching the first responders and everything.
Yeah. Like, this is nuts.
I see what you did there.
Sorry.
Okay, so, we get a lot of stories here, and I'm like, I don't know if I believe this one. But it's from a reliable source.
Okay.
There was a mass UFO sightings reported over Cincinnati. And it's not that I'm like skeptical because ain't no damn UFO. I'm skeptical because why would a UFO choose Cincinnati to hover around?
Well, it's random.
Of all the places to go, the UFO goes, the UFO says, let's look over Cincinnati.
Time out, though. They had a Trump rally about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, well, maybe.
They did have a Trump rally.
So
2
these
weeks
UFOs
ago.
like to see a Trump rally,
They
maybe?
want to see the worst of the worst.
Well, they can't gather all over a big city. They can't go to New York or.
So whenever they're a weird, creepy space language, they're going, Cincinnati looks interesting.
You seen all them Navy pilots though that say there are UFOs all over the Atlantic coast all the time, right?
No,
That's
I didn't see that.
That's a real story. You can look this up. This is not nonsense. Navy pilots on the Atlantic coast say there are UFOs all the time.
Do you believe in UFOs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you?
I don't know, but Bernie Sanders said if he wins, he's gonna let
spill
us.
the beans,
He's spilling the beans on all the aliens. So I think I'll believe Bernie if he tell me they're real.
I don't really think we want to know. And I think that we're also under the impression that these aliens look like us. Like they got the oval head and the
Right.
big bulging eye. I bet you they look like cockroaches or locusts or something.
Or just a cloud.
Could be. Right.
Some being with no form.
Right. They're not what we think. Right. And clearly they're smarter than us because they got UFOs.
That's what scares me. If there are UFOs, they're way ahead of us.
Right. Because if
We can't get to Mars yet.
it's 2019, and I thought in the 80s that by 2019, all of our cars would be like
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, good for the environment,
No.
especially sprockets, all
No.
that good stuff.
I still got to go to the gas station to fill my car up. Speaking of UFOs, I guess there's still this talk about storming Area 51.
Yes.
And get ready for a mass murder if that happens. Meaning that they will get killed if people try to storm Area 51.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Navy said don't even try it. But just so that they're prepared for everybody going to Area 51, they're sending a bunch of strippers there.
I seen all kind of stuff. Listen, there's food trucks setting up. There's little people setting up tents to rent. There's people out
What
there
are
to
the
get money.
strippers for? What's that for?
Because they need nightlife.
They want it to be fun, Indy. Okay, it's
It's
not just
nightlife.
going to sit in the sun and bake. We want to look at some boobs.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's only part of it. It's only part of what we're doing.
I have a unique perspective on this. You know, my father worked at Area 51 for several years.
I didn't know that
What
because
is
you're a Navy kid or Air Force
Air
kid.
Force.
Okay.
My father worked there for like 4 years. and
Does he
he's-
have top secret information?
He still can't tell us what he did. That's what he tells us. I just can't tell you what I did. That's all.
You think maybe last breath he'll tell you?
I don't know. I asked him that too. I did. Straight up.
I mean, it's a morbid question, but
Just kind of laughed it off. But I know he was there like while they were working on like the stealth bomber and stuff.
so when he
Wow.
says he can't tell you, that means he verbally can't tell you. Like if you said you can ask him questions like blink twice if there's aliens.
Right.
Can you try that?
I asked him, is there stuff there like that you really wish you could tell people about, but you can't? And he's just like, it's not as crazy as people think it is. But he was
I
there.
think that's a cover-up.
I know, I do too. I think he just didn't want me to keep asking questions.
Yeah, like shut up.
But they had the stealth bomber like before anybody had ever seen it. That's why he was there. I know
Okay.
during
Can you
that
imagine
era.
what having to living, and you know that information, but you can't share it with anyone?
Listen, my
That's
parents
crazy.
divorced in that era because like he would be gone for 4 days and then come home for 4 days and he couldn't tell her anything.
So his secret keeping game is on swole.
Swole. It destroyed a marriage.
I mean,
Dang.
I have a hard time not telling somebody we're throwing a surprise party for him.
Trust me, Mark. Trust me. I'd be on the way home, babe. You know what they had on the base today?
Right. I mean, it's seriously.
Yep.
I'm like an old refrigerator. I can't keep nothing.
That's crazy.
And lastly, a nearly toothless woman bites man. How?
Wait, what?
Nearly toothless woman bites a man who barges into her home. Guess the state.
Florida.
Yeah, I was going to guess West Virginia, but you're right, Florida. Nearly toothless woman in Florida bit a man who broke into her apartment. I guess with the one tooth she had. Yep.
She's taking a risk.
Yeah, exactly. She needs that tooth. The woman woke up to a fire alarm going off in the building. When she opened the door, the man forced her way inside and kept calling her mama.
Aw.
That's when she bit the man with the few teeth that she had left. Maybe wisdom tooth and an incisor. The woman ran out of the apartment, but the man locked himself inside. Nothing's worse than knocking on your own door, trying to get back into your own house. Florida on the program. Florida never, ever
Toothless.
disappoints. It is the McCrazy Talk Podcast, Season 1, Episode 3. Yes.
Well, holla at y'all later.
Absolutely. Don't forget you can catch us Apple or Spotify, but you probably already knew that if you're listening to this.
Subscribe and tell a friend.
Please do.
I like this little beat.
Not bad,
I
right?
made it.
You did?
Nah, I have no idea.
I don't know
who
where
that
this
is.
came from.
It's dope though.
Yeah, it's not
I was
bad.
about to say, go Menace.